All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that, honestly, most companies don't even realize is a problem until it's a total mess. Design chaos. We're going to talk about the fix, something called UX governance, and why it's the thing that separates a product people love from one that just, well, falls apart. So let's just jump right in with a question that gets to the heart of a massive misunderstanding. Did you say it's just painting? I mean, when someone says design, what pops into your head? For a lot of folks, it's just about making things look nice, right? Just splashing on some color. But what happens when an entire company starts thinking that way? Okay, to really get a feel for this problem, let's try an analogy. Picture this. You walk into a big, fancy art exhibition. You're expecting something curated, a clear theme. But instead, and here's the crazy part, the individual paintings are masterpieces. We're talking Van Gogh, Picasso, Da Vinci. Each one is a work of genius, totally brilliant on its own. But when they're all just, thrown together on a wall with no rhyme or reason, the whole thing feels off. It's jarring, and that's what happens. You, the visitor, you're left feeling totally confused, maybe even a little stressed out. You're looking for the story, the common thread, that DNA that's supposed to connect everything. But it's just not there. So even with world-class art, the experience itself is a failure. All right, so a chaotic art gallery. What in the world does that have to do with the apps on your phone or the websites you use? Well, let's make that connection right now. We're going from the gallery to your products. This is the one-to-one comparison. That gallery with its clashing styles and confused visitors, that is exactly what happens when products don't have any governance. You get different teams building clashing features, using different methods, and what do you get? Confused users. It is the same problem, just playing out in a digital space. And this is where UX governance saves the day. It's the solution. It is that thing that was missing from our art gallery. It's the shared story, the common rules, the core DNA. It's the thing that makes sure every single piece of a product feels like it came from the same brain, the same unified vision. Okay, but what if you just ignore all this? What's the real cost of letting that chaos run wild? Let's get into the pretty devastating consequences of having zero governance. Basically, all that chaos boils down to three big problems. Your design is a massive inconsistency, your users get super frustrated, and your own teams start fighting. Let's dig into each of these. First up, let's talk cash, money. When every team is just doing their own thing, they are constantly reinventing the wheel. And that means expensive redesigns, wasted time, and a really steep learning curve for anybody new who joins. Your efficiency just canks, and the costs, they go way up. Next, and you could argue this is the most important one, is what this does to your users. They get so confused when one product from your company works one way and another product works a completely different way. They start unconsciously comparing them, and that's when trust starts to break down. And losing that user trust, that is incredibly hard to get back. And finally, just look at what this does to your teams internally. The difference is night and day. With governance, everybody's on the same page, working towards the same goals. The process is smooth. Without it, you've got teams with competing goals, constant friction, people arguing over which way is right, and the end result for the user, that fragmented, chaotic experience, it's just a mirror of the chaos inside the company. All right, so we get it. The problem is serious, but the good news is there's a clear path forward. So let's talk about how you actually find that guiding principle and bring some order back to the chaos.
Now, first things first, let me be really clear. There's no magic wand here. There is no one single ideal UX approach that's perfect for every single product or team. The right answer for you really depends on your situation, your specific products, your deadlines, your users.
So getting to that cohesive state, it's a process. It has steps. You have to start by just admitting there's a problem. Then you look at your options, you evaluate different paradigms. But here's the most important part. You have to make a choice. You deliberately pick one way of doing things, and then you commit. The goal is to get really, really good, to build deep expertise in that one method across all of your teams. And when you do that, this is the payoff. Everything starts to click. Your team's expertise just skyrockets because everyone's pulling in the same direction. Your product starts to feel cohesive, it has a clear identity, and your development gets way more efficient because finally, everyone is speaking the same design language. It's a win-win-win.
So, we've covered the what and how of choosing a system, but before we wrap up, I want to zoom out and leave you with one final, much bigger question.
Think about this. What are the consequences of not just lacking governance, but of not having any real UX knowledge in the company at all? I mean, getting your process straight is crucial, for sure, but it's only one piece of a much bigger puzzle. If that foundational knowledge isn't even there to begin with, are you really even playing the same game? That's something to chew on. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.